If you live in Iraq, get the hell out. And the reason I say that is because when you least expect it, we, the United States, may very well perform airstrikes on these terrorists. These is a brutal group right here. This ISIS, they're pure evil. They seem to have a passion and love for brutally killing people. And I'm going to show you a video in just a second. And when I get to that video, that's viewer discretion. So some people may not want to watch it and some shouldn't watch it. But that's the situation right now. Don't expect it to be announced. Just, it's going to happen. Very likely going to happen. And I support the president and what he does. I think he's done a real good job with foreign relations and his decisions in regards to the war, whatever the war is taking place around the world, and how the United States takes part in that. I'm sure you've seen a number of my videos. They consistently go to #1 in regards to any type of issue with the United States in another country. It becomes a big news story. Videos shoot to #1 every time. And that's what's happened recently with my video in regards to what's going on in the Middle East with Iraq and the terrorist group ISIS. So, what else I want to let you know? I want to show you this right here. Okay, you see on this map, this is Iraq right here. The terrorists almost completely taken this area over, and they're getting ready to move into Baghdad. They've already taken over 4 of the largest cities there. What I want to, strategically, I want you to note that this area right here in the Middle East, what's close by here, of course, what do we have? Israel right here. Now, Israel's got a pretty strong ability to defend themselves. They have good technology and weapons, but we can't risk this group that's growing in numbers. They robbed a bank of hundreds of millions of dollars. Now they're going around giving people money, and they've got all these new people that are lost in deception signing up for this ISIS terrorist. So they're growing in numbers. They're getting bigger and they're growing in numbers, and they're taking this whole area over right here. The bigger they get, the more they grow, the more evil they become, and the more dangerous they become to world relations. And so the Middle East has always been a volatile area. We can't take any chances here. And so, because of that, something has to be done. And the United States has the technology and the power to do just that. And so that's why I'm saying be ready and be prepared. I wouldn't be anywhere near this area, this Iraq. I would get the hell out. That's just my opinion. Okay? So, that's where we stand right now. And so, just be watching. We hope that whatever occurs, the least amount of innocent casualties will occur. We don't want anybody, innocent person, to get hurt. But for every good person there, there's probably 100 evil ones. And something's got to be done. I also support the president on not sending our troops over there. We've lost too many. I was against the, as you see in my other videos, against the Iraq war from the start, against all the Patriot Act, taking away our freedom here, you know. During the Bush administration, there was a lot of mistakes made, unfortunately. And so now we're paying the price for that. Once we got our majority of our troops out of Iraq and Afghanistan, now they're taking over and moving in, and they're in the revenge mode. So, and that's what's going on. And I just want to let you all know what to look for. And of course, pray, because this is a very dangerous situation. I mean, if this group continued to grow and then threatened Israel and started to make an advance or something like that, well, I can give you a 100% guarantee that we're not going to let that happen. So, it's just not going to happen. And we have to do something quickly. We want to prevent a loss of life, the fewest amount of loss of lives and tragedy and destruction, but we can't just let the devil take over Iraq and then move into, well, the devil type evil people, and then try to, you know, take over this whole area. It's too much at risk right there. And And if you let evil build too much, then the balance isn't there, you know, between good and evil. So I'm going to show you this video now. This is the one I talked about, viewer discretion. This is about the terrorist group ISIS and some of the things they're doing. And so, you know, here we go.
A chilling sight. Residents of Mosul, Iraq, cheering on the takeover of their city by the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, or ISIS, a terrorist organization so brutal, even Al-Qaeda has disowned them. But it's not just portions of the population this group has won over. Far more worrying, they now control an arsenal of weapons left behind when Iraq's army fled the scene. Here, you see a terrifying display. ISIS proudly showing off missiles they promised to use on their march toward Baghdad. Scary scenes like this are nothing new when it comes to ISIS. The group has perfected propaganda techniques that showcase their strength and brutality. Like this recent video, over an hour long, highlighting horrific killing sprees in Iraq, deliberately recorded on video. Bombings, executions, kidnappings, and worse. This production displays glossy camera work and high-level production techniques. As though ISIS were taking cues from Hollywood films such as Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker to maximize the terror. Analysts say it shows how effective a threat ISIS is becoming.
There's money behind it. It's not just idiots. These idiots have somebody controlling them and providing them with equipment that is very expensive. You can't just get in a cave.
One frightening sequence shows ISIS fighters disguised as Iraqi soldiers setting up fake checkpoints. In another scene, a man is hunted down. After being shot, he pleads for his life. "I'm just a driver," he says. Just a driver. What appears to be the man in an Iraqi uniform is shown. Then, sheer brutality. A hail of bullets shot into his back. And that's not the worst of it. This man was accused of working with the U.S. He and his two sons forced to dig their own graves.
What happened to these people to lose their humanity? Their propaganda is the only tool that can defeat them.
Experts say, to judge by this video, the reign of terror shows no signs of abating, which is exactly what ISIS wants, even at the risk of their tactic backfiring.
Holy shit.